What's up, family? It's your girl Danita Faith, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been rocking with me, what's up? It's so good to see you. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click that bell notification one good time so that way you know when I post new content. And also follow your girl on the socials right above. Now let's get into this video. So we are doing episode 3 of Temptation Island, and we're going to jump right on in. So we ended at the ladies' bonfire with Erica crying again, just saying how she, doesn't have a lot of confidence in herself and how her self-worth is kind of low. And Mark telling her that she is worth it. She's also starting to realize that maybe Kendall came to the show with alternative motives, and now at this stage he's like, Erica who? Whereas she's still thinking about Kendall even when she's talking to these other guys. So hopefully Erica realizes that, like, girl, just go out there and have you a good time because that's what your man doing. Then we start to see Kristen's clips of Julian, and it's the clip of him about to get that lap dance where he swerved homegirl and fell back. So her clip is very, very mild compared to what Erica saw. But she just says that that's Julian. He's the life of the party, always having a good time. But she did admit that he did cheat on her twice in the past, which is why she's so hesitant on getting married to him. Then we have Erin's clip, and she just sees Corey kind of admitting to one of the young ladies that he feels like he plays second fiddle in their relationship, and that he's kind of like her punching bag in a sense, and that she doesn't respect him in the relationship. And when she sees that, when Erin sees that, she realizes, like, wow, maybe I do kind of take advantage of him. But just hearing him talk about being second fiddle made her feel bad, because she was just like, I don't ever want who I'm with to feel less than, Kendall, to feel less than. So I think Erin is having like a come to Jesus moment with herself. And Mark asks her why she does that, and she admits that she has been hurt in the past, and therefore she kind of hurts others before they can hurt her, which is not good, sis. You gotta do better. So now we have the guys' bonfire, and we start off with Thomas just saying how it's freeing to be able to do what he wants without Chelsea around, but she gonna still see it regardless because there's cameras everywhere. But we have Corey's video, and he sees Erin talking to Garrett. And they're just talking about soccer, their soccer journey, and how basically they wish they could have somebody to talk to about soccer when they have those moments where they miss the sport or miss playing or whatever. Again, he already knew that she was going to be connecting with him because they have that athlete bond or whatever. So Corey's still kind of worried that he's losing her to Garrett. Julian sees Kristen talking to one of the guys. Nothing to worry about from this video because Kristen honestly hasn't been doing a lot in the house. If I'm being honest, she's a beautiful woman, but she be going ghost. Like, I'd be like, sis, where you at? Like, who are you talking to? Because I just feel like she's not allowing herself to open up to the other guys. And I feel like the guys are noticing that too. Then we have Mr. Kendall, and he sees Erica talking to Lex about coming on the show and, growing, getting to know herself, and hooking up with the singles isn't what's on her mind. That's not why she came on the show. And Lex agrees. We know Kendall has a different mindset, but he says that basically he isn't worried. He has no worries. He feels like Lex is doing what he calls the interview stage, where they talk the good talk, but they ain't gonna be able to back it up. And he knows Erica honestly ain't going anywhere, but I hope she does. Then we have Thomas, who he sees Chelsea and Dr. Blake bonding over their shared like of like skiing or something. And he, listening to his boy Kendall, feels like Blake is in the interview stage as well, and that he ain't got nothing to worry about. But I think he do, because Sis is excited that Dr. Blake does things that Thomas doesn't do. And I mean, if I'm dating somebody and I enjoy going skiing, I want him to kind of enjoy it too, or at least be willing to do it with me, because that's something that I enjoy. I don't know how to ski though, y'all. But if I did, I want my partner to also want to do those things with me. Then we get back to the houses after both bonfires are over. Erin, again, is just doing some soul searching, realizing that she does take advantage of Corey, and she needs to work on that. Erica realizes that Kendall is manipulative, and the ladies call him out on it to her. So I think she's starting to realize that, you know, it's time for her to just let loose and enjoy her time here because her man is enjoying his time there. And we go to the next day. We kind of see Corey talking about what Erin has been saying, which is she takes advantage of him. And Amanda agrees. So we now see Corey and Amanda starting to connect. And Amanda went on the date with Julian last episode, but she's starting to kind of like fill out Corey a bit now. And we see Thomas talking to Sophia, and he admits that Sophia is his type, like head to toe, that is his type. So he already knows he's going to get into some trouble with Miss Sophia. Dr. Blake feels like he is the dad of the group, and he's like Mr. Wise, got to help everybody. And Chelsea agrees and also feels like he understands her, maybe in a way that Thomas doesn't understand her. We also see that she asked Dr. Blake out on a second date. Now, unlike the last episode where the couples asked out the singles on their date in front of their significant other, we don't see that this episode. This episode, they asked them out while they're at their villas. So I wonder if Temptation Island, I was about to say Love Island, wrong show. If Temptation Island is going to keep it like that the rest of the show, or if they're going to kind of go back and forth between them picking in front of each other and then picking off to the side when the couples aren't necessarily together. We then see Corey at the guy's villa talking to Nicole, who he went on the first date with, and basically telling her, you know, just how he's feeling about the whole situation, how he's feeling about Erin, seeing her video. And Nicole is smitten, you guys. Sis is head over heels in love, probably already got her wedding dress picked out. Like, she likes this guy a lot. And Corey peeps it and feels like she's coming on way too strong. So Sis thinks she's getting that second date, but Corey instead, he goes and asks Amanda on the second date instead. And Sis loses it. Like, she goes up to Kendall and she's like, I can't believe that he first off chose somebody else for the second date, and then second, didn't even tell me. I had to find out from the other girls in the house that he wasn't choosing me for the date. So she's in her feelings. They end up having a talk. Basically, she's just like, you're a dog, you're a player, like, you played me. And Corey doesn't feel like he did such a thing. He's like, we're all here to grow, learn, and explore, and that's what I'm doing. So I don't know why you're so upset about me, you know, talking to somebody else, but Sis is in her feelings, okay? In her feelings. Then we see Erin and Shakil, Mr. Terry Crews chest pop. We see them looking at the sunset together, and she asked him out on her second date. And I told y'all it was gonna be between him and Garrett, that who she was feeling. I saw them when they were playing beer pong. I was like, yep, she's feeling Mr. Shaq over there. And so they're going out on their second date, and we'll see how it goes between them. I still haven't seen a lot of connection between them aside from, like, they have a lot of fun together. So we'll see if it gets any deeper than just fun. We then see Kristen, finally. We finally see her. And she's talking to some of the guys, and basically she's saying how, like, she isn't open and she needs to explore and get out there and, you know, basically let those walls drop. But all the guys are just like, she just talks about she talks about Julian all the time. And so they're like, why are you here? And they don't say this to her face, but to each other, they're just like, why is she here? Like, what's the point of you being here if you're just like, oh, Julian this and Julian that? It's like, this is your opportunity to see if there's others out there that you might want, or if you even just want Julian. So I hope she opens up, and at least she ain't got to get with anybody in the house, but at least allow herself the chance to, like, explore. She also admits that their families are super close, and that if her family saw kind of like their issues or see them on the show, they might feel a type of way about the relationship. And the guys are just like, are you dating your families? Are you dating each other? Because your family, like, yeah, you want your family's approval for whoever you're dating, but at the end of the day, sis, you're a grown woman. So you gotta make that decision yourself. Also, I would like to say that Shaq gives off KB vibes. If you don't know who KB is, it's this guy right here. KB was in season 2, and he was one of the singles, and he hooked up with one of the Ashleys. And he was giving her those sweet nothings, and sis threw all her morals out the window, and they hooked up. And then he dogged her out on national television. I think that might be cool now, but dog sissed out. And I hope Mr. Shakil doesn't do that to Erin. I hope he doesn't. Cause I want to see a brother win. So I hope he doesn't. And now we are going to the night adventures. The girls have a disco night. Great fun. Whoop whoop. 80 vibes. Evan, who I didn't talk about in the last episode, but he kind of gets into it with Kristen. He spills some champagne on the ground. She tells him to clean it up. He calls her a female dog. That's the gist of that story. But he apologizes to her and basically apologizes to all the girls and say, I'm sorry if I made you all feel uncomfortable that night. Everybody was kind of drunk, having a good time, and I blew that whole champagne thing out of proportion. My bad. And the girls take his apology. They're like, thank you for doing that. And then he admits that he's been hearing a rumor that they want to kick him out of the house. Kristen's like, who told you this? He finally admits that it was Dr. Blake. And as he's, admitting to Dr. Blake has walked up to the conversation, is now a part of the conversation. And Dr. Blake, I can't remember if he admits that he did say that or not, but he's kind of just pivoting a little bit. And Chelsea is sitting there, and she is kind of turned off by this. She realizes that, okay, maybe Dr. Blake does insert himself more into things that he don't really need to be inserting himself into. And that whole Evan Kristen situation had nothing to do with him. So he shouldn't have been running off to Evan, whether the information was true or not, and say yeah, the girls are kicking you out. There was just no need for that. So it's kind of a turn off from her, and she begins to distance herself from him because of it. And then we have the guys, and they're having a slumber party. There's a lot of twerking, a lot of shirtlessness, and pillow fighting. So just good fun, a little flirting here and there, but nothing extravagant besides Nicole calling out Corey for taking Amanda on the date. Then we go to the dates. So the girls go snorkeling and the guys go paddleboarding. So on the date, we have Erica, who chose Jesse. We have Chelsea, who of course chose Dr. Blake. Erin, who chose Shakil. And Kristen, who chose David. And then on the guys' date, we have Kendall with Alexis, of course. We have Julian with Tula. We have Corey with Amanda. And we have Thomas with Sophia. So Erica is a little smitten by Jesse, Mr. White Chocolate. She's like, oh, he looks good, and the curls and the smile. So she's feeling him. So we're going to see what happens between Miss Erica and Mr. Jesse. And on the other side of the relationship, Kendall and Alexis are very much feeling each other. Alexis basically asked him, if they can go further, if there's any rules. And Kendall admits there's no rules, that they're open to anything he's doing him and Erica's doing her. So again, you guys, they hooking up. They gonna hook up. I already know it. They hooking up. There you are. And then we go to Chelsea and Dr. Blake, and she admits that she's been distancing herself from him, but she's also just worried about her feelings, and she doesn't know if she's ready to open up to him, but she's allowing herself to do so as long as he can just be patient with her. And then Thomas is smitten by Sophia, and he's just the flirting. He's doing what he do. He's flirting. And he gives her a flower, and she gives him a kiss on the cheek. So I think there's going to be a little something between Thomas and Sophia. Mark my words. We move on to Erin and Shaq. Again, just a nice date. Shaq admits that he feels like he's a little more open and vulnerable than Corey, and maybe he is. I think we still have to see a little bit more between them. And then Corey and Amanda's date's really cute. They're just on the boats paddling, a little flirting, but nothing major. But just good vibes all around between those two dates. And then we have Kristen with David, and she admits that she is skeptical of marrying Julian because of his past infidelity. She just doesn't know if she can get past it. And I mean, sis, he cheated on you twice. So are you just waiting for him to do it a third time before you walk away? Which, don't get me wrong, if you want to stay with somebody after they cheat, that's your prerogative. But I mean, if you're on this show and you're second guessing everything, it's kind of just you had those doubts. So listen to your instincts. You had those doubts for a reason. And then we have Julian with Tula, and basically Tula asks us, are you ready for marriage? And Julian's just like, yes, I'll get down on one knee right now. Like, my boy Julian is ready to walk down that aisle, okay? He ready to do that, have some babies, the whole 9 yards. But he knows that Kristen is skeptical. And he's just like, if she ends up walking away from this without me, I have to be okay with that. And I have to let her go. Like, that's how much I do love and care about her. So my man Julian, he might be my favorite. He might be my favorite guy. Y'all already know Erica, my girl, but he might be my favorite guy. Then we go back to the villas after the dates. The single guys have cooked dinner for the ladies, which Erica loves because she's like used to doing all the work. So she's finally getting the pamper she deserves. And then Chelsea admits to Erin that she has feelings for Blake. And they're conflicting with her feelings for Thomas. So she's just like, how do I like 2 people at the same time? I don't know how to juggle this. And Erin is just like, girl, don't put your eggs in one basket. Like, explore, learn about yourself, learn about what you like, what you don't like. That's why we are here, to figure all of this out. So just do that. Do you. I also don't think Erin cares for Dr. Blake. So I think she's just like, sis, go find somebody else. We then move on over to the guys' villa, and they're having like a chill game night. All the girls feel like Kendall is like the best guy because he's open to the experience and he's allowing himself to feel feelings for Miss Alexis. And they're all telling her this, like what's the word I'm looking for? Just how she's in a great position because he's allowing himself to feel those feelings, and that she's lucky. That's the word. She's lucky that she has somebody who is like, okay, I like you, you like me, let's see what this is, and not being standoffish like, I guess, Julian. And while they're all telling her this, Alexis is listening, but sis is, I'm gonna say I sexting because I don't cuss, but I beep. But she is like looking Kendall up and down, giving him those I want you now eyes. And she's feeling things. And she's like, the sexual tension between them is extremely high. And she is just, she wants him. She wants him bad. So she does the whole little like, I'm going to bed, I'm tired bit. And he walks her to his room. And then they're like sitting there, and you all know those eyes you give each other when you ain't really speaking, but like, you know that I know that you know. That's what they're doing. And basically they end up hugging, and then they kiss. Now, y'all, I don't know if I missed their first kiss or what, because the kiss wasn't lackluster, but it was just like a kiss between 2 people who have kissed before. So I'm like, was that their first kiss or was it not? But it was their first kiss to me. So I was like, oh, okay, Kendall, for real, no rules. I see. You literally said there was going to be none. No rules whatsoever. And you did that. But they kiss, and then basically he's just like, it's time to go to bed. And she's like, oh, yeah, your bed, right? And he's like, yeah, I mean, if you want to stay, you can stay. I don't mind. And that's how it ends. It ends with them hugging and him cupping her butt cheeks. So we shall see what transpires on the next episode between them. And that's my reaction to episode 3 of Temptation Island. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my socials. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.